Stan's life is a mess. It kicks off with a literal nightmare. In the film's first few minutes, we meet Bane, a man who's been bitten by a vampire and is desperately fleeing the sun's deadly rays. He stumbles into an old, decrepit shed, seeking refuge from the light. This scene sets the tone: desperation, horror, and a confined space that feels like a ticking time bomb. Cut to our protagonist, Stan. Life hasn't been kind to him. He's living with his abusive, alcoholic grandfather, Ellis. His parents are dead, and he's barely surviving high school, where he's constantly bullied by Marble. But Stan's got one person who somewhat believes in him, his only friend, Dahmer. Although Dahmer has his own frustrations with Stan's inability to stand up for himself. One morning, while taking care of mundane chores, Stan discovers Bane in his shed. It's a terrifying moment. Bane is now fully transformed into a vampire, hungry, and very dangerous. Stan locks him inside, terrified of what might happen if this creature gets out. This scene, crucial to the plot, is the catalyst for everything that follows. Dahmer soon finds out about the vampire. Where Stan sees a deadly threat, Dahmer sees an opportunity for revenge. The tension between the two friends grows as Dahmer pushes Stan to use the vampire against their tormentors, starting with Marble. But Stan hesitates, not wanting to cross that line. However, Dahmer's obsession spirals out of control. He lures Marble to Stan's house and forces him into the shed, where Bane gruesomely kills him. The scene is brutal and shows just how far Dahmer is willing to go. This event marks a turning point, shattering Stan and Dahmer's friendship and pulling Stan into a moral abyss. After this, Sheriff Dorney begins to investigate. She's the only adult who seems to care about what happens to Stan. But her investigation into Ellis' mysterious death, caused by the vampire earlier, leads her right into the shed, and to her own demise at the hands of Bane. This scene not only escalates the danger but also isolates Stan even further. The climax of the film is a tense, bloody showdown. Dahmer has fully embraced the darkness, becoming a vampire himself. Stan, forced to confront his worst fears, ends up staking Dahmer, killing the last vestige of his old life. This moment is both tragic and necessary, a boy pushed to his limits, forced to destroy the only friend he had left. In the final act, Stan and his love interest, Roxy, prepare for a last stand. They fortify the house, knowing that the vampire will come for them as the sun sets. The battle that follows is brutal, with Stan and Roxy fighting off Bane and two newly turned vampires. In the end, it's Roxy who deals the final blow, decapitating Bane with an axe, bringing the nightmare to a close. The film ends on an unsettling note as the house burns and the shed is reduced to ashes. Stan and Roxy believe they've won. But in a last twist, they realize they might have left one loose end. The vampire Marble, who was locked in the trunk of a car, might still be out there, ready to unleash horror once more.